Welcome back, NBA 2K fans. This is Pete Toll, aka PT Sports 84, back with another NCAA 2K25 video. In this one, I wanted to highlight really quickly the scenario that I made in order to get different teams added into basically the MyNBA version 2 of the DaRealDroc original scenario. This time I changed different teams. I cannot go into the MyNBA scenario here, but you can download it. As you could see, you can go to online ID PT Sports 84. It's under NCAA 2K25, the real D-Rock version 2. You'll find it where you can override teams however you want to. You can change teams, designs, make your own custom teams however you want to, and then go from there. So that's the scenario. But I'll show you the roster. The only reason I can't show the scenario, it keeps copywriting the video when I do that, when I click in. So let me go to the actual file. What I did is I redid version 2 that I put out in the last video. I made a mistake. I accidentally took out Tennessee, which I don't know what the hell I was thinking there, but added Tennessee back in. So I just redid it essentially. So the teams changed in this one. Fan favorites, Syracuse Orange are in. We get Adrian Autry as the head coach. I ended up touching up some ratings and things like that just because I didn't like where they were based on scouting. Previously, I didn't scout any of the teams. I just took the ratings from the different rosters I found and threw them in there. It was a mess. So I ended up fixing it up here on the roster. Now, the scenario is different. The scenario is not going to have these ratings changes just because I wanted to add the teams, show the difference of the versions for the scenario, just so you guys can have it, because some people asked for that. Um, so we have Syracuse there. We also have St. John's Red Storm. Touch them up a little bit. We have Rick Pitino as the head coach. Obviously, that looks nothing like Rick Pitino, but that's a custom generic coach face that you can change on your own. How to do that really quickly? Go into head coach, edit staff. You can edit the appearance there for Rick Pitino, so that's easily able to be done. Really quickly, want to highlight here we have North Carolina. We have the Huber Davis cyberface there for him. Duke, I took Cooper Flag from Jack Moves 16's draft class, 2025 draft class. Make sure you're going to download that. I took his appearance from there. Same with Dylan Harper. So made sure to make those changes because I like the better look of those players than what was in the roster. But let's go back through the teams really quickly. We have the Oklahoma Sooners, Jeremiah Fears, top prospect now in the upcoming draft, just based on his performance. I believe Oklahoma is still undefeated. We have Porter Moser as the head coach there. You can see. Moving on, Memphis has Anthony Hardaway as the head coach, of course, and now his real cyberface added there. Going through Tennessee, like I said, they're added in. This one, I don't know, like I said, why I took Tennessee out the last time, but they're added in. Trey Johnson with an updated look as well from Jack Moo's roster. And then we have Mississippi State, added them in. So we also have Chris Jans as the head coach. I try to line up ratings a little bit better with this one than the last one, but still not going to be perfect because I haven't watched all of these teams. So if anybody has any feedback on ratings wise where things are, or if you have your own set of ratings and you want me to copy them over into this Play Now roster, let me know the roster name. And I can take those from there and then add the ratings and tendencies and stuff in for the new teams. I'd be glad to do that. Georgia Bulldogs, Asa Newell is a top prospect in this draft. I try to keep him lower just because he's kind of emerging still, so not quite that upper echelon prospect yet. Mike White as the head coach. Michigan Wolverines, this was a fan favorite. We have Dustin May, That's a custom face. Fix it how you want to. Same thing as Rick Pitino, as I mentioned earlier. Then Michigan State. That's another team that was highly requested. Got them in. Tom Izzo. You can fix the face how you want to. It's editable as well. Just scroll through the coach faces and you can pick the best one that you see fit. And then that's the roster, folks. Basically, essentially, you can make it your own. I just wanted to add these teams in because they're fan favorites. Based on collection feedback, I will have a version 3 of the Play Now roster available for you guys. This one is under the same name. I'll show you really quickly. It's under the same name as before. NCAA 2K25 DaRealDroc version 2. You can find that, as you can see right here, on 2K Share. Make sure you're downloading that. That is only for Play Now. You can go get the scenario that I mentioned previously. Edit how you want to if you want to take the ratings and stuff. I don't have the time to copy the ratings back in. I was working off the Play Now roster, but you could see that they load up in Play Now. I'll pull that up for you right now. So they pull up throughout the roster, and you can just scroll through the teams as you see here, and then get the uniforms and all that stuff, and they load up in Play Now. I'm not going to load in the game because it'll kick it and copyright it. But you could see basically the lineups and stuff like that. I tried to touch up the lineups and get them fixed for the most part. So hopefully this is what you guys want. Like I said, version 3 will have other teams like Georgetown, Missouri, Pittsburgh, those kinds of teams that a lot of people requested in there. So I'm going to try to do like 10 to 12 different teams in that roster, so that way it kind of changes it up from the look of this roster. I am going to keep Michigan and Michigan State in there just because they're staples that a lot of people really want. But the teams like Arizona State, Georgia, like those kinds of teams that aren't as popular, Mississippi State is not as popular. Those teams I will take out and then replace with like Georgetown, Missouri, Pittsburgh, some other teams as well. If there's any really big name teams, I'm not gonna do a team like, unfortunately, like Cornell or like a small school, just because they're not going to be as utilized throughout the roster. So I want to make it playable and enjoyable for everyone. So try to give me big name schools that could replace those teams. Like the smaller schools that aren't as known. Like Georgia's going to come out. Let's see, we have, looking through, Arizona State definitely. Um, St. John's will come out. We have Indiana might even come out. Iowa. No, I'll keep Iowa State. Oklahoma, probably keep them. Memphis could come out just because they're not as good this year. Rutgers, of course, just because Dylan Harper is like the reason why Rutgers is in, essentially, and Ace Bailey, of course. Mississippi State would come out. So those would be the teams. So like 4 or 5 teams essentially could change in the roster to get some different looks in overall if you guys want that. But make sure you hit the thumbs up on the button, or hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video as much as possible. This is probably going to be the last update for a while until after the holidays. I am working on an all-time college team, which the best players for each college, as well as a separate best of college teams, which is basically each year that teams were good, essentially national champions or close to it, or just a really good team that didn't go as far. Just trying to get those in and work on those. That'll probably take me another month or so for that. So it's not going to be anytime soon, but that's something to look forward to down the line. In the meantime, I'm going to keep updating you on official 2K content. Hopefully get a player likeness update as well as a ratings update in the next week or two. So I'll have videos on those 2 things, as well as an update on my own current 2024-2025 NBA roster. Hope everybody enjoyed this video. Please show support if you can. Donate, even if it's $1. Donations help the channel. Please, please, please donate anything that you can. My PayPal link will be in the description. It really, really helps. Overall, thank you guys so much. Hope you're enjoying your holidays with your family and things like that. Until next time, take care.